We're Redstone Robotics. For the past 8 weeks of our lives, we've spent 24 hours every week building a robot to compete against other robots in FRC competitions. I assume most people watching this video are familiar with FIRST and FRC, but for those who are not, hi, thanks for clicking. FIRST is an organization aimed to inspire young people to be STEAM leaders. They have 3 programs, but we'll be focusing on their last one, FIRST Robotics Challenge, which is for high schoolers. Over the course of 6 weeks, you build a robot to complete challenges in this year's game and compete against other robots in a 3v3. To quickly summarize this year's game, each robot starts here on the tarmac. The goal is to grab these balls, cut cargo, and shoot them into the center hub. There's a lower and higher hub. Then there's a hangar zone, where robots climb and monkey bar their way to the highest rung called traversal. A robot cannot extend beyond 5'6", and the order of rungs and heights are low, 4 foot, mid, 5 foot, high, 6'3", and traversal, 7'7". This means a robot can't just grab the last bar, but has to grab onto one bar, then grab it to another, and release from the first, making this an extremely hard task. The game is divided into 2 timed segments. The first is autonomous, which is the first 15 seconds of the game, where the robots move on pre-programmed instructions. A robot can start with a ball and every ball shot earns double what it would normally. Then for the next 2 minutes and 15 seconds, the match resumes with drivers controlling the robot. That sounded long-winded, but I swear it's the simplest explanation I can make. If you want to read the rules for yourself, you can parse through the 136-page game manual for yourself. Smiley face.
And we've got the third of the juniors. Wearing his varsity jacket also. And his dad. Let's see in the bag. It's God himself. Freddy Faz. No, wrong Freddy. Freddy Falcon. He's been assimilated. And it's Wendy. So, Ariana, you want to explain what happened with the bus?
We got scammed.
Absolutely. We were supposed to get a coach bus, which is one of those really nice buses you get on field trips.
It was really fancy. It was nice. It was comfortable. It had Wi-Fi, and we got a school bus instead.
Okay, all the kids are filing along into the school bus. Nah.
After an hour-long bus drive, we've arrived at Gold Lake High School, where the competition is held, and also where exams are held. Before matches or anything like that start, we first have to go through some opening ceremonies.
Who's excited to be here?
So, after one speech, one overly lengthy video, one driver's meeting, and one pledge of allegiance, competition has officially started.
Good morning, Gold Lake. Who's ready to see some matches?
Though, not for us. This competition has 62 matches, and each robot plays 12 times in these matches. Our first match is actually match 3, so we have a bit of time until our first match actually starts.
So Mo, we're finally at competition. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm getting ready for the first match at around 1, I think.
So that's like a full 2 hours after qualification start. TJ, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm just really anxious to see our team go out there and do well and destroy the competition.
My thoughts exactly, TJ. We have a great robot this year and great drivers, so we should at least do decent, but...
Mo, guarantee we win first match?
Yep.
Oh, wow. From our mechanism driver himself, we are now guaranteed to win the first match. Great stuff, Mo. After some quick repairs on the robot and a long wait due to technical issues, we're ready for our first match. Let's go see it. Actually, before we start the match, there are some key players in it that we're going to want to keep in mind while watching, because they will be very relevant later on. Team 4967 is that one team, who we have a friendly rivalry with since we are located very close to one another, and because of that, we go to the same competitions and the same events every single year. Team 1076 is Peckham Samurai, a team that I personally love because they have a great champ, but their robot just traversal climbs and plays defense on other bots. The only other team I want to quickly mention is 7811 Flamin' Hot Tigers, who is simply just my favorite team. And I've been saving a robot explanation for now. Our final completed robot has 2 intakes to take in cargo and a turret shooter which has 270 degrees of rotation and auto-aligns to the hub so we don't have to spend time manually aiming. We also have a climber that can climb to the middle rung, but it's slow and the support beam is prone to bending. This was a slap-together climber as we were supposed to have a climber that went to traversal, but due to not having enough manpower and resources, it never got finished. We knew our climber wouldn't get as far, so our strategy was just to be the best shooter for all of our matches. We also know that we put an immense amount of backspin on our cargo as they exit our shooter, which can cause them to bounce out, but from our testing it didn't affect the cargo that much. With our key players spotted, let's finally let the first match begin.
Behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, go!
Immediately, Twisted Devil shoots 2 balls, one of which makes it into the top hub. At the same time, everyone but 5843 backs off the tarmac. We attempt to shoot 2 cargo into the upper hub, but one misses and the other bounces out. Twisted Devils attempt to grab 2 more balls to shoot, but fails and ends up still in the tarmac. And after a short pause, Teleup starts. That one team shoots 2, makes 1. We begin collecting as much cargo as we can, and the human play on Red Alliance tries to make a long shot, but misses. Twisted Devils shoot cargo, but we retaliate, shooting our own. Most of this match is just us and Twisted Devils cycling cargo, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit until something more interesting happens. Now Flurbs runs to the hangar to begin their climb. 7811 goes to the hangar to try and climb as well. High Samurai are playing defense on their 4381, trying to keep them from getting cargo and scoring. And stop! That one team gets on the mid rung and then the high rung. This whole time, us and Twisted Devils are still cycling cargo. Us and Twisted keep cycling balls and the match ends. At the end of the match, we lead by 1 point, looking like we won, but when the opposing alliance's climbing is put into account, they smash us with a score of 62-39. Overall, it was a great match for us and for the Blue Alliance. So good, in fact, that the Blue Alliance got 3 RP instead of the normal 2 RP for winning. What's RP? It stands for ranking points and is what teams are ranked off of. You get 2 RP for winning, 0 RP for losing, and 1 for tying. But if you can only get 2 RPs for winning, how did that one team, Twisted Devils and Flurbs, get 3? Well, that's because there are 2 additional ways to gain RP points separate from the outcome of the match. One way is to score a total of 20 balls into the hub during teleop, and the other is getting 16 or more points from climbing. The rungs in order are worth 3, 6, 10, and 15 points. So at minimum, 2 robots have to climb to reach that 16-point threshold, which is exactly what happened in this match. That one team and Flurbs both got to high, getting 20 points total, which surpassed the 16-point threshold, which resulted in that extra RP point, bringing them to a total of 3 RP points. Let's check in with the team and see how they thought it went.
It was crazy. We did so well. We made so many cargo. I think we only missed 1 or 2.
Only missed 1 or 2? How many points did you score?
In overall or in cargo?
In cargo.
I think it was like 27.
27?
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
All right, that
First
is
match of the day. That's
superb. By yourself?
Yeah.
By yourself.
The other 2
And then,
robots couldn't shoot.
in total, how much did the Alliance score?
39.
Well, Word and Henry, our next match, match 7, is up. On our alliance, the only team of special note is Team 3770 Blitzkrieg, who can shoot and also climb. On the opposing alliance, Peckham Samurai, who were previously in our alliance, we now face, which means we'll have to go up against their defense in this match. The other team to mention is 4327 Q Branch on the opposing alliance, who we knew was going to be the biggest scorer on the enemy team, as they have the best mid-climb at the competition and a decent shooter. Our strategy for this match is the same as last match, except we're going to try and climb to the mid-bar. Why? Well, our alliance partner, Blitzkrieg, has the ability to get to the high bar, worth 10 points, so if we're also on the mid-bar worth 6 points, that totals the 16-point threshold to receive an extra RP point. Our climber is a little risky, but who knows how much Q Branch might shoot, and every RP we can get is worth it. It's a gamble, but one worth taking.
Drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, go!
The match begins with Blitzkrieg moving off the tarmac and shooting a ball, missing. Their human player also tries to make the long shot and misses the upper hub, but it lands in the lower. Q Branch, which shoots their ball behind them? I don't know, but Pie High Samurai's human player tries to make the long shot, just barely missing. We too try to shoot during Auton, both of our balls miss. Auton ends and the drives assume control. Except, 7203's robot isn't moving. We don't know what, but something is stopping their connection to their robot, rendering them immobile this entire match. Already a huge setback. If we weren't already going for the climb during endgame, we now have to account for the points lost from 7203 being immobile. Blitzkrieg shoots a ball which dances on the rim but decides to fall off at the last second. Pie High Samurai speedily rolls over to our side of the field to play defense on us. Blitzkrieg shoots, misses. Q Branch shoots and makes both balls high. We shoot 2 balls into high, but bad luck hits, and our second cargo launched actually hits our first, causing it to bounce out, so we only made 1. Things are going poorly, but we just have to hold our heads high and keep shooting. 6150 scores 1 cargo and lower. We make 1. 2 shots in. Q Branch misses, but so does Blitzkrieg. We collect more cargo, and again, Q Branch shoots 2, and again, both bounce out. We shoot 1 and make it. There's no more cargo on our side of the field, so we're forced to go to the other side to get cargo. We're also forced to pick up a blue ball in our way. And another strike of bad luck, Blitzkrieg gets stuck on the small raised ridge of the field. We rush to their aid and push them off the lip, saving them. They immediately run to the hangar to begin their climb. We shoot the ball we're holding into the upper hub, but it's the blue ball we picked up earlier, which scores points for the other team. Not good. Blitzkrieg is now in the middle rung, so we rush over to get on mid, but Pie High Samurai is still in the way. We maneuver around them and get into the hangar. We begin raising our climber upwards as Blitzkrieg ascends to the high rung. Q Branch climbs on their side of the field, and with 5 seconds remaining, we climb. Our robot tilts and churns, but we're up. And so is Blitzkrieg on the high bar. The match ends 15-33. But with climbing, it comes out to 21-58. And somehow we got 25 hangar points, which is because we got traversal climb by a penalty. See, when we were maneuvering around Pie High Samurai, they actually went into our hangar, which gives us a traversal climb to the lowest climbing robot in your alliance, aka us. So in a repaying of luck, we got 25 points in the hangar, gifting us the win and the extra RP points.
Well, it is now lunchtime. Kevin, how are you feeling about how we're doing?
We're doing alright. Could be better.
Jason, how are you feeling?
It's alright. The drivers need to get some stuff together.
So you're saying they're not working at full
Yeah,
effort?
they showed a blue ball in the freaking hub. Like, what's going on?
That was a very sad moment, right?
I had to sit there and just watch him. I couldn't tell him anything. I was all the way across the field. It was tragic.
And who's the driver during that time?
Watching them.
Right here?
What?
So, how'd your match go? How do you think you went?
I think it went great. I mean, we won.
Okay, top 10 end of day. The Caleb guarantee.
You top 5. You trying to not get picked or what?
We're gonna get picked if we get top 10.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being a 1v3 robot.
We gotta go to driver too, right? That's the I think we got this next one.
Oh, there's no balls over here.
Lean.
10 end of the day. KO guaranteed. Let's see it. Huh? Top 5, you say?
5.
KO, can you still guarantee that?
The Jason guarantee. Hell no, you get Man.
How long are you the driver?
Me and Kevin driving a robot, we number 1 right now. Swear to God. No cap. We're the best drive team that the team has ever had.
Well, after that hyperbolic statement, I think it's time I explain something else about these competitions. The game doesn't start and end on the field because of something called judging. Throughout the day, judges will walk past pits where the team is and ask questions about our robot, our team, our outreach, etc. Answering these questions well puts us in contention for awards that happen at the end of the competition that are completely independent from the outcome of main matches. And the most prestigious of these awards is the Chairman's Award, an award given to the team who embodies what FIRST is about, inspiring today's youth to become engineers and enriching the local community. This award also has the most work that goes into it, requiring a speech/presentation and a video explaining what your team does for your community and the impact it makes. But all that work is worth it, because if this award is won, it's an automatic ticket to states, the next level of competitions. Historically, we've done well with this award, having won it 3 times in our past. We understand what it takes to win this award, but there are many other teams at this competition who have also historically won this award. 4967, that one team's won it twice. 2771, Code Red Robotics has won it 6 times. Team 85, Bob's, has won it 3 times. 4327 Q Branch has won it 4 times, and you get the idea. There's a lot of competition at this event for this award, so let's check in with the chairman's team who are currently skipping lunch to give their presentation.
Alright, well, it's about 12:50 and chairman's crew is getting ready to go do their thing. Wendy, how you feeling about chairman's?
I think very good. They have a wonderful presentation that's very engaging.
I see. Let's go see how they do.
Well, we can't actually see the chairman's presentation itself, because no camera equipment is allowed in the judging room and only one mentor can go along. The gist of the presentation is that Ethan is confronted by 2 cops and has to spill his pockets full of Red Storm paraphernalia and gets interrogated into talking that good about our team. But it looks like they're coming out now, so let's see how they did.
So, how'd it go?
It was pretty well. I think we all answered the questions pretty equally. We bounced our answers off of each other. I think it was very creative and constructive.
And now, Sarah tells the news to the whole team.
It went well. We didn't get a single laugh out of the judges, but that happened at Kingsford too, and look what happened at Kingsford.
What about Kingsford?
I'm kidding. What?
Question?
That went great. They were only able to ask a few, but we were building on top of each other all the time, and so that went really well. The judges liked our answers. The judges liked our presentation. At the end, they thought we were well prepared, and Wendy said we did well, so that's usually a pretty good sign.
Chairman's going well is huge. With this and our past win, things are looking up for us.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
Lunch is now over, and that means that our next match, Match 11, is up. The only thing I want to say about this match before it starts is that it's kind of a free win. We have that one team, the best climber at the competition, as well as being the number 3 ranked alliance. There's also 5675 Wirecats and us, which are 2 of the 3 best shooter bots at the competition. And against us are 3 robots from the bottom 10 ranking. On top of that, the projected scores for this match are 56-17, with us absolutely crushing the opposing alliance. So, let's see the destruction.
Behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, go!
6002 is first to shoot their cargo, which flies over the hub. 5144 is next up and they make their shot. Then, that one team launches theirs, which misses. The human player on Red Alliance tries to make the long shot but fails. Next, we shoot our 2 balls, one of which bounces out of high and the other lands in the lower hub. Auton ends and tally-up begins. 6150 without skipping a beat puts their cargo in lower. 6002 again shoots but misses. 5144 lines up and sinks their shot in upper. 15 seconds into the match and our alliance still hasn't shot a single cargo. We're first to break the mold, but our cargo bounces out of high. We rush to the hangar to pick up a ball that's there, but our climber is too high up and hits the low bar, almost flipping our whole robot. We back up from our mistake and once again collect cargo as that one team launches 2 cargo, both of which make it into high. We follow that one team's lead by revving up our shooter, but as we do, our first cargo fires prematurely, missing both the upper and the lower hub. We fire the second cargo we have, but that bounces out of the upper hub. Wired Cats lines up to shoot, but their shooter jams, meaning they can't shoot for the rest of the match. 6002 shoots 2 cargo, only one of which makes it into high. That one team flips 1 cargo into lower as we shoot a cargo over the hub. But this cargo miraculously lands and bounces back into the lower hub. 5675 with their jammed shooter quickly decides to go play defense to the other alliance, placing their trust in us and that one team to make up for their lost points. We shoot 2 cargo, only one of which stays in. At the same time, that one team shoots 1 cargo into high. A cargo shot into the upper hub during teleop should be worth 2 points. Us and that one team both shot 1 cargo, which should total 4 points. But if you watch the scoring, you can see it jump up to 14, then back down to 12. Some glitch happened with the sensors in the hub that caused it to count 1 cargo and then immediately subtract that cargo. It definitely had something to do with both cargo breaking the sensor right after each other, but as far as a concrete explanation goes, I don't have one. 6150 tries to bring their intake up, but they don't have enough power to, meaning they also can't score for the rest of the match. 6002 accidentally fires both of their cargo when trying to get around us. That one team then flips 1 cargo into the upper hub. We line up to shoot, but we don't shoot.
It's not got a cargo about it.
Our shooter got jammed. We bring up the intake, but that doesn't help either.
It's not shooting at all.
We then bring both balls down from our shooter into our intake, then bring them back up into the shooter, which works. One of the balls comes out prematurely, but the other one flies into the upper hub. But that cargo bounces out just like all the others. That one team goes to the hangar to begin their climb. 6002 shoots 2 cargo, one of which makes it an upper. At the same time, we make our second shot into the upper hub. 6002 moves to begin their climb, and as they do, that one team falls off the hangar. That one team immediately recovers and begins climbing again. After that fall and with how close the score is, both us and Wirecats decide to try and climb. That one team again gets on mid, but as they climb to high, they fall again. We try to climb, but we only get a little off the ground before the match ends. It's a close match, and we win by 1 point. Though, with the added points from miscounted cargo, the actual score is 22-17, which is a far cry from the 56 we were estimated. Multiple things went wrong, but Joe summarizes the match best with,
I saw a very close game that was not very good.
Yeah, but what actually went wrong?
Yeah, our shooter failed mid-game. We would have easily had twice as many cargo if it hadn't failed, but yeah.
What happened with the climb?
The climb, we were just too slow, and we weren't originally planning on climbing, but that one team fell, and they got back up, but then they fell again. And we weren't as prepared as we would have been. Had we known, we had to go for a climb originally.
And while the match itself may have been a failure in multiple ways, at the end of the day, we still won. And while, yes, that's true, this match was actually more of a loss than if we had just lost the match normally. And that's because of something called scouting, which is where teams will watch and record what each robot does for each match they play. They could then use this information to predict the outcome of matches and produce strategies, which is how we got those match prediction scores for the last match. Up until now, we've been one of the best shooter bots, with our first match being outstanding and our second match being pretty okay. But with this match being horrible for us, we now seem inconsistent, with our first match being an outlier. This is really bad for alliance selection, which is something we'll get to later on in the competition, but just know that until something gets fixed, our chances of winning this competition will get worse and worse each match we shoot poorly in. Our next match is match 19, meaning we have about half an hour to fix up our robot for the next match. Nothing mechanically is wrong with the robot, but the programming team works to make our auton better. The two main things they fixed was widening the delay between our first and second ball shot to make sure our shooter wheel is up to speed, and they made the charge up of our shooter happen earlier in auton, because we think the reason the balls aren't landing right is because when the balls are shot, the shooter wheel isn't full speed. But before these changes can be finished and uploaded to the robot, qualification match 19 is up, meaning we can't test our new auton this match. And for match 19 and all subsequent matches for today, I'm going to show highlights of the matches instead of the full matches. because A, this video would be an hour and a half if I showed each match in its entirety, and B, not all of the matches are interesting, or at least not all of each match is interesting. In match 19, since our Auton wasn't working yet, we gave the 2-ball Auton spot to Q Branch, which made their Auton shots. Once teleop begins, we cycle cargo the best we can, and at 94 seconds, 44.53 completely tips over. And during the last 30 seconds, we try to climb but aren't fast enough, and we lose the match due to the Red Alliance getting 25 hanger points. We actually did pretty well this match compared to our last two, making 8 cargo in the upper hub, which is more than we made in the match 7 and match 11 combined, and 5 less than our first match. In match 23, we shoot cargo. That's it. The only thing to note is Scott's bots plays really annoying defense on us for the last 30 seconds and actually prevents us from getting to our side of the field and climbing. In the end, it doesn't matter because the score comes out to be 14-31, with us winning. We made 7 shots in upper, which is seeming to be our new average. Match 27, though, is much more interesting than the last. First off, Scott's bots are now on our alliance, meaning they can play really annoying defense on the other alliance. We try to make the Auton shot, but only one makes it in the upper hub. And our human player, Henry, actually makes the shot into the upper hub, but a cargo from 42-16 actually bounces it out. Henry doesn't see that the cargo gets bounced out because he is currently popping off. For the rest of the competition, he thinks he made this shot, which leads to some pretty funny clips that I'll show later in the video. This match, we tried cycling cargo, but both Pi High Samurai and 3770 were ceaselessly bullying us, severely decreasing the amount of cargo we scored. This match, we climbed into the midbar and ended up winning by 3 points. We shot 6 cargo into the upper hub, and again, showing that our average is around 6 to 8 cargo a match. And we have a large break between match 27 and our next match, which is 35. During this time, the judges actually came to our pits for the second time today. They also asked questions from different categories, which is a good sign that we are at least in contention for an award or two. During this break, Sarah also draws Dean Kamen, the founder of First. And also, Henry is...
I made the shot and it's 4 points. I won that game. I won that game.
Delusional. During this time, we also tune our shooter during Auton a little more. And for match 35, we're expected to lose. There's no sugarcoating it. The expected scores are 37-54. The opposing alliance has both 43-81 Twisted Devils as well as 51-52 Alada bots, which, according to our data, are the 2 best bots at the competition when it comes to raw points scored. During Auton, with our newly tuned shooter, we actually make both cargo during Auton, which is huge. And as for Taliop, nothing really happens. We cycle cargo, the opposing alliance cycles cargo, and 51-52 plays some extremely annoying defense on us. At the end of the match, we lose 59-46, which is almost 10 points above what we were expected to score, which means we outperformed and went above expectations, which is still kind of a win. And Twisted Devils noticed this. In the pits, we're situated right next to them, which means we do a bit of talking. And as they are the number 1 seed, when it comes to alliance selection, they're going to need to pick the best robot they can. And they told us that we're very high on their ranking. So high that there is a decent chance that unless something horrible happens, we might be their first pick. If that's true, and they do pick us, it's the most free win you've ever seen in your life. But we can only cross our fingers and head into the last match of the day, match 38. And in this match, we're actually against Twisted Devils, so we have a shot at a little bit of redemption here. We shoot during Auton, and both our cargo would have made it, but the second cargo hits our first, meaning the second cargo didn't make it into the upper hub. Twisted Devils also missed their 4 cargo Auton because 7811 bumped into them, which is great for us. And during teleop, both us and Twisted Devils try our best to cycle cargo, but defense gets in both of our ways. The match ends with us winning 38-28, and while Twisted Devils did miss a couple shots, they lost for 2 main reasons. 1. Most of the red cargo actually ended up in our hangar, making it both hard to see and dangerous to grab. And secondly, their 2 alliance members both barely scored. Of the total 28 points their alliance earned, 22 of those 28 were from Twisted Devils. And if 7811 wouldn't have messed up Twisted Devils' Auton, Twisted Devils would have won the match single-handedly. But a dub is a dub, no matter how stacked in our favor it was. And at the end of the day, we end up ranked 15th, which is middle of the pack, but not making the rank 10 cutoff for the Caleb guarantee. So both the Mo guarantee and the Caleb guarantee were not met. But in a bold move, Mo makes another guarantee.
Tomorrow, Mo guarantee. Where are we thinking of landing?
I'm hoping top 10 If not, I'd most like top, 12.
So basically the Caleb guarantee of top 10, but it's a Mo guarantee this time.
Yeah.
I see,
That way it's actually true.
All right.
Yep, that's true now.
Good job.
Other than that, there were some small fixes made on the robot, and the team leaves to head back home for the day and rest up for tomorrow, where we'll hopefully win the entire competition. The day begins slowly, but before long, the bleachers are packed with spectators, anticipating their team's moment to shine, and we're no different. Before we know it, our first match of the day, match 46, is up. We're paired up with Team 85 Bob, who's the current 6th highest ranked bot at the competition, and according to our data, the 5th best robot. As long as we perform well, this should be a great match. And it was.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy. Look out for yourself. But I'm ready.
What a great start to the day. 51-25, with the extra RP from scoring 20 cargo during teleop, which is the first time this comp we've gotten that bonus. And you may have noticed while watching, but between yesterday and today, we actually upped the speed of the robot, so now we sprint across the field. And all of our matches are all back-to-back, which means no changes in the robot can be made in between. So if something breaks, it's going to stay broken for the rest of the qualifications. And with that being said, our next match, match 50, is up. In this match, we're up against Team 85 Bob. Us and Bob are the carriers on both of our teams, being the best in cargo. But the opposing alliance has an advantage in 56-23, who has one of the most consistent high climbs in the competition. And nobody in our alliance besides us can climb, which means we have to both outshoot Bob's 10-point average cargo and shoot an extra 5 cargo and upper to cancel out 56-23's climb. It's an uphill battle to be sure, but one that isn't impossible. Auton starts, and our Auton fails, but so does Bob's. At the end of Auton, the scores are 6-10, with us behind. And now, our quest for cargo begins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cargo shot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 made it in. We undershoot what we need, but so does Bob. At the end of the match, the scores are 37-28 with us winning, but when 56-23's climb is accounted for, we lose by 1 point. But to add insult to injury, Bob's actually climbed to the midbar, which widens the gap between our scores even more. But before we could take in the loss, match 53 is up. The only thing to mention is Pi High Samurai, who were just a defense bot, got their climber working, which means on top of playing really good defense, they can also put some points on the board. But looking at the opposing alliance as a whole, all of their robots can barely shoot cargo and can really only climb. So long as we can outscore them in cargo, this should be an easy match. Auton begins and ends with neither team scoring a single cargo, and right at 126, 76-58 scores the first and last cargo for the Red Alliance. 76-58 continues to try and score cargo, but something is wrong with their lift and they can't bring a cargo high enough to score. And speaking of not being able to score,
Remind everyone of what's going on.
match ends 34-23, with the whole Red Alliance climbing and us winning. And you may have noticed that while before this match we would miss cargo because it would bounce out due to the insane amount of backspin we put on the cargo, now cargo are missing short. Why? Well, after every match we would decrease the shooter velocity, which would decrease the ball's distance when launched. This was to help tune our shooter more and find a velocity we like. But evidently we've flown too close to the sun and are now undershooting the hub. But again, before we can make any changes, we're on our way to the next and last match of qualifications. But not before a quick Henry interview.
Okay.
We're on our way to our last match of the quals.
Last match of qualifications.
Yes, sir.
How are you feeling? Did I make the shot?
I haven't checked the teams, but I think we were projected to win.
I see.
I feel pretty goated.
Our last match of the day holds great significance, not only because it's our last match, but it will be the most recent match going into Alliance selection, meaning how we perform here directly affects our odds of getting picked. Twisted Devils is still telling us we're high on their list of robots, and while we haven't been doing the best today, if we at least do decent or great in this match, Twisted Devils will most likely pick us, which sets us up for winning the entire competition. And for this last match, instead of talking before the match about robots and strategy and doing a whole play-by-play of the match, let me plainly show you what happened. Here. Right here, 7811 makes contact with the drivetrain on the right side of the robot, disabling it from moving somehow. And there are a couple of reasons this might be, and from worst to best, these reasons are A, the gearbox in the drivetrain broke, B, a gear from the gearbox got shredded, C, the treads that drive the wheels came off or tore, D, something programming went wrong, and E, something electrically went wrong. The match ends with us losing, but that doesn't matter, because right now our robot doesn't work. Everyone anticipates the worst case scenario. Our custom gearbox snapped and completely broke, requiring at least an hour to fix. But when we get to the pits and inspect the robot, the best possible outcome shines through. The CAN bus that connects the Falcon motors to our electrical board got unplugged, a 30-second fix. Something that none of us in the stands would have even considered as a possibility. The best possible scenario. And while we did lose the last match, at least our robot is ready for Alliance selection. But losing the match in this way makes us look really, really bad in Twisted Devil's eyes. Imagine you're them, the number 1 seed, and you need a robot to be your teammate. Do you pick somebody who consistently shoots well and climbs? Or do you pick somebody like us, who can be the best shooter bot, but also one of the worst, and whose robot just stopped working in their last match? Yeah, I think the choice is obvious. And I realize I've been teasing Alliance selection for a while now, without actually explaining what it is fully, and I think now is time to finally shed some light on this crucial ceremony.
The top 8 teams move into the team captain positions of the playoff alliances. The number 1 team can select any team at the event to join their alliance. If the selected team declines the invitation, then another team is chosen until one accepts. Suppose Alliance 2 selects Alliance 4. But Alliance 4 declines, and Alliance 2 selects another team, which accepts. It's now Alliance 3's turn, but the same rule applies. Alliance 4 is not available, so Alliance 3 has to select another team from the available pool. And the next alliance can select any available team that hasn't declined an invitation. This process continues through Alliance 8. Notice that a previously unavailable team has become an alliance captain. At this point, any remaining team that has declined an invitation is not eligible to participate in the playoffs because they can't be selected. Alliance 8 now picks their 3rd team member from the remaining available teams. Alliance 7 picks their 3rd team member, and so on, all the way back to the number 1 alliance. All alliances are now full, so alliance selection is complete.
With that explanation out of the way, alliance selection begins. Each team walks up to their respective number. The number 1 seed, 4381 Twisted Devils, steps up, dons their apron, and chooses their partner.
Team 4381, who would you like to select to be on your alliance?
On behalf of Team 4381 and all of our great sponsors, we would like to invite Team 5675 to join our.
And it's not us. Instead, they choose 5675, who averages slightly more cargo than us and can climb to the high rung. It's a logical pick, but one that's still disappointing. Twisted Devils was our bastion, and without them, since we're ranked 13th, it's doubtful that anyone in the top 5 or 6 would pick us over just picking each other. That one team's turn to choose comes up, and they choose
457, and all of its sponsors. We invite Team 5152 to our
5152, a lot of bots. A robot who shoots less than our average, but has a traversal climb and was ranked 8. It's a great choice for them, since now without even picking their third alliance, they already have a guaranteed 30 points from 2 traversal climbs. Team 85, Bob's turn to pick, comes by, and they choose... In a twist that none of us saw coming, we got picked by the third alliance. After a lot of bots were picked, we were the next best shooter bot, and as a result, Bob's picked us. This, of course, isn't the first time us and Bob's are together. As we played in match 46, we were absolutely amazing together, getting 20 cargo during teleop. This is already the start to an amazing alliance, and now we have to look for a third alliance member when the time comes. We'd of course love to pick another alliance captain, but we obviously can't. By the time it's our turn to pick again, there will only be 10 teams left available, and all of them will most likely be from the lower rankings. When the time does eventually come around to us, the teams of note left are 1076 Pi High Samurai, who play defense and can climb high, and 4776 Scott's Bots, who play amazing defense and can climb mid. We've both played with and against these teams before, and both have their ups and downs. They can both play defense and both can climb. Scott's Bots have a consistent mid, but Pi High Samurai recently got their traversal climber working in their last match. In the end, we choose... Scott's Bots for their more consistent climb, and Pi High Samurai has gotten multiple penalties while playing defense, and their climb this entire competition has been wishy-washy. The second alliance, led by that one team, chose Pi High Samurai for their traversal climb, meaning their entire alliance has the ability to traversal climb, which all but guarantees a constant 30 points per match, as well as defense. The number one alliance, led by Twisted Devils, chooses 4453, the red hot chili bots, who play middling defense and have a climber that can get to traversal, but more than that just gets to mid. With all alliances made, lunch starts, and then after that, playoffs begin.
Meanwhile,
Let's talk auto, where we're starting.
We can basically start anywhere. We just need to drive. We need to be parallel to one of these lines.
Okay.
That's our only
So we're
restriction.
gonna start on red.
Oh yeah.
Where do you guys like to start for your auto?
What's here and here, and obviously because of that, I assume it's here.
Because we could start here and do ours.
That's where we start, yep.
Is that no? That's why we like to start
No.
here. Well, could you start there with it?
Can we flip them?
No, like you're saying, like, can you guys start? You guys, Ripstorm starts there, and then
Oh, I mean, we could really do that if you want, but I mean, that,
If we
not up to this meeting.
so
Where
the-
do you need to be?
So the other thing is we can start.
I really think with this first match, with us doing offensive, you doing defense, I think we have this one. I'm hoping if we do what we're all
gonna
best
be
at,
tight, but yeah,
it's gonna be tight.
So
Because we were looking at 7658, you bumped them even a little bit. Even if you guys just accidentally just like, oh no, I accidentally went into another way, that ball was falling out. Like you're inconsistent.
Who is 76 again?
That's
So-
what we just.
Since you guys can get that one in.
My assumption is 3770 is going to come after one of us for defense.
Okay.
So I'd like you to target 7658, but if you start to notice that one of us is starting to get reamed and you have the position to go and help protect us, let us shoot. So one of the reasons why we picked you guys is you guys score great. You're a great offense pick. We picked you largely for the defense because that is going to be critical.
We are fairly confident. I would say very confident, at least in my drive team's ability to lock down the lines.
We know that 3770 and 7658 both have climbs.
Yes.
Up to high traversal. 7658 is the slowest.
7658, their climber broke max 550.
Yeah, so we played match 58 with them, and theirs acted like their broke while they were climbing. So
They also climb at 75 seconds.
Yeah, so they need more than 45 seconds. So if we're going to target one to slow down,
That's the target?
That's it. I do think between the two of us, we can outscore them by cargo. You guys like the upper, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to probably start with upper, and then if we need to, we'll switch to low. All right, I'm looking forward to having fun.
Let's go.
And that's our basic strategy. Have us and Bob cycle cargo while Scott's bots play defense on the opposing alliance, delaying their climb as much as they can and protecting us from defense when necessary. And this strategy worked beautifully. At 40 seconds, we line up to shoot, but in a moment of sheer chance, a cargo from above falls into our robot, directly onto our Rio, which is what controls communication from our driver station to our robot. This bricks our entire robot, making it useless for the rest of the match. Thankfully, it's a fix as easy as plugging in a cable. The match ends 29-71 with us smashing the number 6 seed. But playoff matches are best of 3, meaning we're not out of the woods yet.
Caleb, your driving is going to semis. How do you feel?
I feel great, man. Like we got this whole competition in the bag.
In the bag.
Yeah, in the bag.
Can we get a Caleb guarantee of finals?
Caleb guarantee, yeah.
Caleb guarantee.
Caleb guarantee.
Finals.
Yeah.
Guarantee. Are you getting finals?
For whatever, yeah.
Are you getting finals?
I am. Yes. We
All
are.
right.
We're going to Worlds.
Well, you heard it from them. Let's watch semifinals, match 1, and see what happens. Well, first, strategy. We're up against Pie High Samurai, that one team, and a lot of bots. We know for sure that Pie High Samurai is going to play defense on us and Bob. That one team and a lot of bots are most likely going to cycle cargo to the end, and some combination of the 3 are going to climb to traversal. Pie High Samurai's climb takes the longest, which means if they're going to climb, they would have to leave early, which leaves us and Bob's free to shoot without any defense. A lot of bots in that one team have fast reversal climbs, and a lot of bots take slightly longer, so our best guess is that somewhere around 50 seconds left, Pie High Samurai is going to bail to the hangar, and around 40 seconds, a lot of bots is going to leave, followed by that one team hanging at the very end. We've played against a lot of bots before, and their biggest weakness is that their robot is only 85 pounds, making them a very easy robot to bully. Which is why we're going to have Scott bots play defense on a lot of bots in that one team whenever possible. Our main goal is to get 30 points from cargo to cover for the 30 points in climbing the opposing alliance will get at least, which means we're going to have to get somewhere around 20 cargo more than them, which is a tough task, but doable. So without further ado, let the first match of semis begin!
Behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, go!
Bob and Scott's bots shoot their cargo. A lot of bots shoots their cargo as well, quickly followed by that one team. Pie High Samurai and Bob both shoot one more cargo, which both make it in. Both human players try to make the shot, but both miss. We shoot our 2 cargo, but one bounces out, and Auton ends. Pie High Samurai immediately zooms to our side of the field to play defense. That one team launches 1 cargo, which finds its home in the upper hub. Scott's bots is targeting a lot of bots, and Pie High Samurai is targeting Bob's. And with us open, we rev up our shooter and shoot 1 cargo, which sadly bounces out. We go to collect more cargo as Scott's bots completely blocks a lot of bots from scoring their 2 cargo. That one team shoots 1 cargo, which goes over the hub. Bob pops one ball into upper as Pie High Samurai invades Bob's frame, earning us 4 points from the foul. A lot of bots line up to shoot, but at the last second, Scott's bots move them, which results in their cargo missing the hub completely. We shoot 2 cargo, one of which bounces out, and the other goes over the hub. That one team flips 1 cargo over the hub. A lot of bots prematurely fire 1 cargo, which doesn't have enough power to reach the upper hub. Pie High Samurai lets up for a moment, and Bob is able to shoot 2 cargo, one of which makes it and the other falls short. Every single robot has now collected to the blue side of the field, as the score sits at 30-16. We shoot 1 cargo that immediately bounces out. Scott's bots moves a lot of bots closer to the hub as they shoot, which results in both cargo hitting the lower lip and falling to the ground. That one team tries to fire a volley of 2 cargo, but we actually move them out of the way. We shoot 1 cargo, which by some divine entity finds its way to the lower hub. Bob shoots 2, both of which fall short. We quickly shoot 2 cargo, both of which find their home in the upper hub. During this moment, Pie High Samurai moves around Scott's bots to begin their climb. A lot of bots also begins their climb. Bob shoots 1 cargo as that one team joins the Congo line at Red Hangar. We again shoot 2 cargo, both of which land in the upper hub. With 30 seconds left, we're close to the 30-point lead we need. Both Pie High Samurai and a lot of bots are now off the ground as Scott's bots goes to climb. Bob makes 1 cargo in upper as a lot of bots ascend to the high rung. We also shoot 1 cargo which lands in upper. With 15 seconds left, Pie High Samurai finds themselves on the high rung as a lot of bots transfer to the traversal rung. Bob peels away from the hub to go climb at our hangar. We're 1 point away from the 30-point lead we need. At the last second, Pie High Samurai latch onto the traversal rung as that one team climbs to the mid bar. We pick up 1 cargo, but before we can shoot it, the match ends 47-18. And when climbing is put into account, the score comes out to 53-54, with us losing by 1 point. The only thing our alliance could have done better that match is try to make a few more cargo during tally-up, and if Scott's bots can further delay Pie High Samurai and a lot of bots from climbing. If we exclude penalties, we lost the match 45-54, meaning we lost by 9 points, which is a deficit we'd have to entirely make up with more cargo scored. Which is huge, since each cargo in high is only worth 2 points. But before we can formulate a further refined plan, our next and possibly final match is about to begin.
Drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, go!
Bob shoots their cargo into upper and lower, as a lot of bots miss the upper hub. That one team rallies 2 cargo off, both of which land in upper. We retaliate with 2 cargo of our own in upper. The human player on our side almost makes a shot, but the ball rides the rim and falls out. Tally-up starts. Without missing a beat, Pie High Samurai speeds over and crashes into us. Scott's bots as well moves to play defense on a lot of bots. Bob moves to pick up cargo as a lot of bots fire a cargo, which misses due to Scott's bots. Bob fires 2 cargo, one of which makes it an upper and the other falls short.
Shoot it! There you go!
That one team picks up 2 cargo and flips 1 into upper hub. Scott's bots move to play defense on that one team, but as they do, they bump into us, making our shot cargo miss. A lot of bots shoot 1, which makes it, and Bob fires back with 2 cargo of their own.
Get that one. Go to the floor! Get that one.
That one team fires 1 as Pie High Samurai plays incessant defense on us. We overpower them and push them into the hub as we shoot our cargo, which lands in upper hub. Pie High Samurai pushes us back as we go to the hangar to collect more cargo. A lot of bots shoot 1 cargo which falls just short of the upper hub. Bob shoots 1 and Pie High Samurai invades their frame, getting us 4 points for penalty. We line up to shoot but miss the upper hub, as a lot of bots also miss the upper hub.
Okay, shoot! Okay,
that one team fires 2 cargo, one of which makes it, and Bob fires 1 cargo which finds its home in the upper hub. Pie High Samurai moves to begin their climb with 50 seconds left. A lot of bots fires 1 which misses. They then give up a cargo and begin climbing. Scott's bots tries to stop that one team from shooting, but it's a second too late and that one team makes 1 cargo in upper. Scott's bots then enter a little scuffle with that one team. All the while, we score 2 more cargo in upper. That one team then goes to climb as a lot of bots move to traversal. We shoot 1 more cargo, but miss, and the match ends. The scores come up, and we lose 48-69, with 20 points of penalty to the opposing alliance, which is an insane amount. We got 5 fouls that match, some of which were deserved and some of which weren't. But the saddest part is that even if we remove all the penalties we gave the opposing alliance, we would have still lost the match by 1 point. We're officially out of playoffs and have no more matches to play. We had a good run, but all good things must come to an end. We sit ourselves in the bleachers to watch the final matches and watch Twisted Devils take it all. But we're not completely done yet, as we still have award ceremony to look forward to. After playoffs, an award ceremony begins, with various teams receiving different awards based on different characteristics. There's the Autonomous Award, based on technical accomplishments of a team's autonomous. There's Gracious Professionalism Award, based on a team's energy and willingness to help others in their community. There's the Creativity Award, which is based on creative solutions to problems, and there are many, many more awards on top of those. But there's also the Big Daddy Award, Chairman's, which, as I stated earlier, is an award based on the central focus of FIRST, transforming culture in ways to inspire today's youth into STEAM. We obviously want the Chairman's Award, but any award would be awesome. Also, something to quickly mention, each team can only get one non-robot performance award, meaning a team can't get the Creativity and the Autonomous Award. Without further ado, let's watch the awards ceremony.
The first imagery award goes to team 4216 Blue Up. That's going to be Blue Up. Congratulations to team 4327 Two Brains. Congratulations to team 7658 Magitech.
Right as the final awards were coming up.
Sponsored by Rockwell Automation, celebrates creativity that enhances strategy and play, and was intentionally designed from the start. This colorful team harnesses the forces of nature in their creative design with dual cargo intakes and an auto-aligning revolving turret. It's been green lights all the way for this red team. The Rockwell Creativity Award is presented to Team 3875 Red Storm Robotics.
We won an award! The whole team descends to the field to collect our award and take a picture. And as we ascend back to the bleachers, one question lingers in all of our minds. Who won Chairman's? All the usual suspects have already won an award. Twisted Devils, Cube Ranch, that one team, Code Red, Ramageddon, and us have already won an award. Unless they were going to double up at this competition, who won? In the end, our third alliance member, Scotsbots, won the Chairman's Award, which none of us saw coming. But looking at their history, wow. This is the first time many of us have heard of this team, but they are super strong when it comes to winning Chairman's Award. This is their 7th total win since 2016, and 2 of those wins are from regional Chairman's Award wins, which is frankly insane. A pick none of us saw coming, but one who deserved it nonetheless. And that's it. Our day ends on a high, but bittersweet note as we help tear down the competition and head home. We didn't perform great, but far from bad, ending up ranked 13th, but being ranked 7th when it comes to raw points scored in our data. Things went wrong, but we always recovered from them. When we were down, we got back up again, and that's what matters. This isn't the end for Redstone Robotics. Far from it.